Pagan Shooter here. I wanted to come back and talk about the Monstrum Scope and what I discovered, and I will be mixing in some video here from the trip yesterday to the range. So if you see a different shirt, that's why. By the way, this is the new shirts. This is one of them. This is the Blessed Bee motherfucker that I am going to be or that I already have up on Etsy. So I decided to go that route because I'm not sure what kind of response I'm going to get or if there's going to be any response. So I decided I would just go small with it. And I did get quite a few people that wanted me to offer some kind of t-shirt. I've got this one with the Blessed Bee. I've got the Pagan Does Not Equal Passive, and I also have my logo t-shirt as well as a vinyl. And let me know, guys, if you want a Pagan Does Not Equal Passive vinyl for the vehicles, or a Blessed Bee motherfucker vinyl for the vehicles. Let me know, because I can also offer that. But enough about that. There'll be a link down in the description for if you guys are interested in it. Now, on to the important thing, the Monstrum, which is on this. I wanted to make sure I let you guys know, yes, this is not loaded here and here. Okay, so this is the Monstrum on the High Point 995 TS. This is the Monstrum 3x30, 3 power by 30 reticle. And it is a non-adjustable, except for focus, scope. So I took this to the range the other day, or yesterday, and I was able to sight it in. It actually sighted in very well, except for one small problem I came up with, or I found. Underneath here, you'll see, if you look very carefully, there is a seam where the base that locks down to the rail meets the bottom of the scope. Underneath there is 2 screws that I did not realize were loose. So I got to the range, I started sighting it in, and it was going pretty well at first, and I thought I needed to bring it over, and then all of a sudden the aim point switched to the other side. I went ahead and made some more adjustments, and I was constantly chasing this thing back and forth. Well, I looked, and the scope was actually wiggling back and forth, and I was like, what the heck? I actually thought this was all one piece. So it turns out I had to unscrew down here. I had to unscrew these, and I'll throw in some video of what I had to do. And then underneath I had to get an Allen wrench and then crank down on that and tighten it down. They were actually about 4 or 5 turns out from tight, and then I had to give them a good crank to get them tightened down good. And then once I got that straightened out, I was able to then mount it back down here. Of course, getting it back on this rail, because this is a proprietary rail, was a little difficult. And then once I got it back on there, I was able to go ahead and get it sighted in. And it did sight in. I was able to get groups about like this, about 25 yards. And for my reloads, which are not the most accurate, that's actually not bad. I was quite happy with that. I think if I were to get some good factory loads, I could actually get this down to about 50 yards out. And once again, with my eyesight and the 30 power scope, or 3 power scope, 50 yards is probably going to be about the farthest I could shoot with this. I could probably get that group down to about 50 yards. And that's with better ammo. Once again, my ammo, probably not the most accurate. So I did get it sighted in. I was able to adjust it in. You'll see these caps remove. And actually, it's kind of funny. I thought screwing down this cap might have thrown it out of adjustment. So I did do it kind of light at one point. But I did get it tightened down. You pull off the cap once again, and you make your adjustments here on top, you'll see there is an adjustment there that allows you to screw that on. That is actually kind of tight, so you do need a full-size screwdriver to tighten that down. You make your adjustments up and down depending on what you need. Left and right is under the windage here. And I did get it sighted in, and it was accurate. The one thing that I'm still a little down about on this is the crosshair light, or the illumination inside. The switch here is still extremely tight. If you really crank on it, you can get it to light up, but it is really difficult to move it around. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to show in there. I will try. Let's see if we can get that to show. But there should be a little bit of illumination in there. Oh, no, that wasn't lit up. There we go. Let's try that. That's lit up. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. Otherwise, you'll just see me holding this off into the camera. But it does light up. It's just really hard to crank on this and turn it. I may have to sit down at my desk while I'm editing or waiting for this to render and try to crank on that and see if I can get it to go. But that really is my only complaint about this scope. I do like it. I do think this thing is accurate. It does hold its bead pretty well. I was able to get it sighted in rather easily once I tightened it down. So if you do end up getting one of these, make sure you tighten it down before you put it on. There's 2 Allen wrench screws at the bottom. You just crank them down nice and tight. Maybe some blue Loctite in there wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm probably going to end up having to pull this off again and do it again because I didn't have any blue Loctite with me. And just make sure it's nice and tight before you put it on, and then crank down your rail mount. Now, everything else, as far as this scope, is actually quite tight. The adjustment for the focus is actually quite good. The only 2 complaints I had at this point, and one of them I resolved, was the mount was not tight. Other than that, this does appear to be a really good scope. I would even go as far to say that this would work on a AR pistol. You could probably put this on 45. You could probably put the 99545 or 9945, or even, the 4595 or the 4095 high point. You could either put it on those. You could put it on any other carbine, I would say, and it would probably be a decent scope for you. As far as longer range, I would say probably not. The distance ticks seem to be pretty good, but I would say that because the magnification isn't that great, anything beyond 50 yards, especially for somebody with my eyesight, would probably not be that good. Anyway, have you guys tried any of the Monstrums? If you have, let me know what your thoughts are on it. Long term, did you have the same problem with the illumination? Did you have the same problem with it being loose? Let me know what your experience is with this. I definitely like it on the carbine, and I definitely could see me using it more often with the carbine. But let me know what you think, and go ahead and, as always, like, subscribe, and share this. And if you guys are interested, definitely check out the shop. If not, no pressure, don't care. But this is Pagan Shooter. Till next time.